All right, let's get this show started.
Two former UFC title holders will face off on the wrestling mats. Former UFC interim welterweight champion Colby Covington is set to face former middleweight champion Luke Rockhold in the main event of RAF 5. The event takes place January 10th at Amarant Bank Arena in Sunrise, Florida, and streams exclusively on Fox Nation. The matchup marks the promotional debut for both combat sports veterans and continues RAF's momentum following the announcement of Bo Nickel versus Yoel Romero on the mats. Covington returns to competition after sitting out all of 2025. He last fought on short notice against Joaquin Buckley at UFC Tampa in December 2024, where he lost via doctor's stoppage in the third round. Rockhold, meanwhile, steps into grappling competition after suffering a brutal knockout loss to Darren Till in a boxing match at Misfits 22 last August. What do you guys think of this matchup? Will Rockhold's size be too much for Covington to deal on the mats? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Mike Perry is not a fan of how Tom Aspinall has handled his eye injury. Aspinall recently released the results of his eye examination, which diagnosed him with bilateral traumatic Brown syndrome following an accidental eye poke during his fight with Cyril Gahn. The diagnosis includes persistent double vision, reduced eye movement, and a significant loss of peripheral vision. As a result, he is not medically cleared for combat activity and may require surgery or steroid injections to treat the condition. Speaking on his Overdogs podcast, Perry and his co-host criticized Aspinall, saying he's crying about the injury and not handling the situation the way they believe a fighter should.
The Tom Aspinall thing, John Jones was saying, Tom's a quitter. It's like he blew up so big, he was the next big thing. He was the call. Like, everyone was like, no, you're ducking, blah, blah, blah. Everybody always got something to say. But, where you at now?
I'm just going to say this. If he needed to stop the fight, then he needed to stop the fight. That's fine. But the did after was lame. Like, the homeboy wanted to make a Netflix documentary about the aftermath on his eye poke, right? Dude, it was so cringe. Like, and his dad was talking for him every 6 hours. It was very bizarre.
What would David Goggins say? Life is hard. Stop crying about it. Be a man. Do some push-ups and go run some miles with the broken leg. Who gives a
Beneil Dariush is considering a move to 170 pounds after his quick knockout loss at UFC 322. Dariush was finished by Benoit Saint-Denis just 16 seconds into the fight, and now he's looking at a fresh start in a new division. In addition to the result itself, Dariush also missed weight for the bout, another factor pushing him to consider welterweight. Speaking with Submission Radio after the setback, Dariush confirmed he is seriously exploring the move and revealed that a recent DEXA scan showed he was 185 pounds with 10% body fat, suggesting his frame is well suited for 170.
I prolonged our interview. I was thinking to myself, maybe I'm going to move to 170. And so I figured I'd have an answer instead of saying, I don't know if I'm going to do it. So I did some testing here, and I did what's called a DEXA scan, and it basically, I was at 185, 186 at 10% body fat, which means I have like 19 pounds of fat to lose, which is not, like, getting to zero is kind of dangerous. Injuries become very common. So I'm just kind of going through the process to see if 55 is actually reasonable for me. And then I got the info from them, and then I reached out to the UFC. So I'm going to go there this week and do some testing over there just to make sure, man, because that should have been my best performance of my life. I was in incredible shape. Training was excellent. I had great sparring partners. My movement, my timing was great.
Conor McGregor linked up with Mike Tyson this week ahead of an event in Dublin. The boxing legend appeared at a function in the capital to celebrate his life journey on Tuesday evening. McGregor shared a snap with Iron Mike on Instagram, captioning it, 63 KOs between us. Later on, footage surfaced showing McGregor and Tyson having fun in Dublin last night.
Look at you. I ain't got him the second one yet. I got him the third, yeah, now too, man.
I go up there, like, I'm sitting down there, when I go up there, and fuck you. Before I get down there, fuck you, motherfucker.
I tell you what, all the experience we've had makes us perfect candidates for this. Did you see me going up and down the A and all the promotion for the brand? Look, I'm not getting the brand.
Petr Yan isn't impressed with Merab Dvalishvili's busy schedule as champion. On Saturday night at UFC 323, Merab will look to secure his 4th title defense of the year in a rematch against Yan. If he succeeds, it would mark his 4th successful defense of 2025, a new UFC record for most title defenses in a single calendar year. While the achievement is undeniably impressive, Yan believes there's an asterisk attached. Speaking at Wednesday's media day, Yan said he's not impressed, arguing that Merab has been defending the belt in his own backyard and that it's always easier to fight at home.
What's just your perspective on Merab's very busy year here, the 4 camps, the 4 title fights? How is that going to impact what version of him shows up on Saturday, if at all?
Все поединки были здесь, в Вегасе.
All of the fights were here in Vegas. One in Los Angeles with Umar.
Right.
Los Angeles, how many hours need flight to Los Angeles?
4 hours drive.
Okay, it's home too, да?
4 часа.
Это тоже дома.
Same thing as
Я
fighting
думаю,
at
что
home.
дома можно драться каждый
It's
выходный.
very easy to fight in your backyard. Here or Los Angeles, it's the same thing. You know, it's basically like fighting at home. You can fight at home every single weekend. In your backyard, you can fight all the time. When I signed the contract in 2018, I had 5 fights that year as well, and they were not at home. If I could fight at home every one of those fights, I could fight 10 times that year. In Los Angeles, you fought Sterling and you gave him an Oscar as a present. Do you have anything prepared for Merab this time around?
Ну вот хотелось бы для Мераба тоже вот такое колено подарить.
I would really love to give him a gift of my knee.
Brandon Moreno is surprised by Henry Cejudo's recent comments. Cejudo will share the UFC 323 card this Saturday with Moreno, a fighter he was once very close to. Their relationship spiraled following Moreno's introduction to the UFC via The Ultimate Fighter, where he wasn't picked to be a member of Cejudo's team despite their friendship. In 2023, Moreno called Cejudo out the day after he came up short when challenging for the bantamweight title, urging his former teammate to not retire so that they could finish business. Now, during UFC 323 Fight Week, Cejudo has said he'd postpone his retirement and move back down to flyweight to fight Moreno. Speaking at UFC 323 Media Day, Moreno responded, saying he's surprised there's still lingering bad blood between them. He explained that he has long since moved on from their rivalry and would gladly shake Cejudo's hand to finally bury the hatchet.
Do you actually have an issue with Henry? Because he seems to very badly want to fight you.
Yeah, I mean, brother, I saw the interview. I thought that rivalry was dead. Was super dead, but the guy is still thinking on me. That's crazy, brother. So right now I'm super focused. You know, in the past we had our bad blood, and right now I'm talking about myself. Like, I'm just super focused to fight in the flyweight division, get the title back. I don't think he's gonna make that cut again. So that's it, man. I wish him all the best. I wish him all the success in his fight against Peyton Talbot, because Peyton is an incredible opponent, and that's it. I mean, I'm gonna say hi to him. Like, I don't know. I don't know what is his real mentality against me. You know, because it's always the same. Like, the people get cameras on his faces and in their faces, and everything changed. But I mean, to me, super clear. I'm gonna check his hands. Hello, he's gonna check the hands with me. It's gonna be perfect.
Cejudo later agreed, saying Moreno is right and that it's time for them to finally bury the hatchet.
Yeah, and he's probably right. I was probably just in on one yesterday, you know, and maybe we'll shake hands. I think we're linking up, I think, tomorrow. So I think we can talk, man. I don't think we really had a chance to really sit down and actually, you know, maybe the day will come. But the way that I took it, I've always thought that rivalry, that fight would have been great. You know, he denied me a couple of times. Even before I was champion, when everything happened between us, I wanted to fight him. The UFC was trying to make that fight between him. They're trying to make the fight between me and Brandon, but he chose Sergio Pettis in Mexico City. You know, and I went up to him personally at the UFC retreat at that time, and I was like, "Hey, man, let's fight." As a big brother, that's kind of how I felt to him. I was like, no. I think we ended in the most political way, and we fucking fight. You know what I'm saying? Because I was still a bit heated, but no, it's gone, bro. He's probably right. Dude, I'm dehydrated, bro. I'm hungry. Yeah. You know, I'm over it. Maybe we'll. Sorry, Brandon.
Islam Makhachev could have potentially made his return much sooner than people are expecting. Makhachev dominated Jack Della Maddalene in the main event of UFC 322 to win the 170-pound title, which suddenly opened up multiple fresh matchups that can happen at the top of the division. It appears that we could have seen the first of these take place just next month if the Russians team had agreed with the UFC's pitch. In an interview with MMA Junkie during UFC 323 Fight Week, Makhachev's manager, Ali Abdelaziz, revealed that the UFC had called to ask about whether he'd be open to fighting in January against Kamaru Usman or Garry. However, Ali said that the idea was thought about, but Khabib shut it down.
Well, Islam just fight. Honestly, even the UFC reached out to me. They was asking him to fight a main event June 27. He thought about it. Honestly.
Not the White House guy?
No. January 28. He thought about it. He's like, no. And Khabib said, hey.
Who was that against?
Like it. Honestly, Kamaru's name was in the mix. I can tell you that. Kamaru's name was in the mix for January 28. Honestly, Ian Garry's name is in the mix too. But at the end of the day, man, the UFC is a business. They're gonna make the biggest fight they can make.
Here are the top 3 memes found on the internet. Number 3 meme was posted by Inconvenient Truth. Number 2 meme was posted by Undisputed Take. And number 1 meme was posted by Haunting Trainer. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with the latest MMA news.